What's up, guys? This is Michael. This is Bespoke. Today I just wanted to show off a new controller that's hit the market because I love the original and now we have a sequel. This is the 8bitdo or 8bitdo Ultimate controller. This is the 8bitdo Ultimate 2. They've made a bunch of improvements here. They've improved the polling rate, increased the battery size, improved the overall feel, the look. As you can see, they've added RGB. And as someone who has both of these and has used this one dominantly since it's come out, which has been, I think, a couple of years now, kind of wanted to give my impressions of what's different, what's the same. So let's just get right into that. So this is the original one, a little fluffy as you can see. I've got a lot of use out of this. It works great, still feels great. The build is similar to the new one. But overall, this one feels more dense. It feels like the revision is stronger. It's a little tougher. Just everything feels more solid. I guess for the buttons, the joysticks, the shell. The texture's a little different. It's slightly grippier. You can see if you look real close, slightly glossier. A little bit of a more hollow sound. Hear that? So you do feel it as soon as you pick up the controllers. If you have both, this one feels a lot more durable. Coming over here, the D-pad feels okay. You know, I never had any complaints about it. The new D-pad, it feels so much faster to touch. It's almost like every point on the D-pad is its own individual tacky switch. It's got something like a membrane feel, but it's kind of clicky at the same time. Nothing like an Xbox controller where it's actually like, but feels much improved. Joystick feel, these are a little looser, and they came a little looser. They are still smooth, they still are very accurate. The new ones have a little bit more stiffness. They spring back quicker, but they're a lot more smooth as you move it around. One of the biggest differences, shoulder buttons. It has a click, but these are very mushy. These are very fast, very short travel, great click, feels good, sounds good, actuates much faster. We'll get into the triggers in a bit. We do have more buttons. We have a button that controls RGB, just cycle through stuff. And we have a button, I believe this is macro. This switches your presets, which you can configure. Essentially the start and select buttons. They've been moved up, which is a little weird. I like the position of these just a little bit better, but you do still have that. It's essentially your home button, just like you would have on a PlayStation, Xbox, whatever. The bottom, more or less the same. If you flip it over to the back, you still have the paddles. These paddles are a little mushy. I'll explain this tape in a minute. Like everything else, just a little bit clickier. Feels great. I really like the tactile nature of that. See, you got left bumper, shoulders. Here you have bonus buttons. These are mappable. They can really only be mapped to other functions on the controller or macros. Super clicky, feels great. USB-C, pairing button. This is the mode switch on the original. This actually got loose and I had to tape it down because just playing the vibration would wiggle and affect that button and would actually kick you in between the modes or just disconnect the controller. So a piece of tape fixed that, which is why you're going to see that piece of tape there. Here you're going to see the same switch. They seem to have fixed that problem. I do still have the docks. The docks are actually different. The old dock has a little bit of a click. Hear that? The new dock doesn't have that. It just sort of, I didn't prepare for that. It just sort of sits on there, but you get the idea. They changed that for whatever reason, doesn't really affect anything. Other things that you do feel, the vibration on the old one feels a lot looser and sloppier. It sounds sloppier as well. The vibration on the new one is very tight. It feels like it's moving the controller and not vibrating in the controller, which is a huge improvement. I really like that. The responsiveness of the inputs has been improved, and you can feel it if you're playing at a high frame rate on something like a competitive shooter, or just really anything at a high frame rate. You can feel it. It's a big improvement there. The software allows you to configure the RGB, of course, program your macros, adjust what these do on the back as well. The software is okay. It doesn't do everything I would like. I couldn't get the RGB settings to stick. As soon as I leave the software, it turned that off for whatever reason. I don't know if that's a bug, something I don't understand, or something they're going to fix. The software is still unsigned, which bothers me. Essentially means they could do suspicious things with your computer if they really wanted to. 8bitdo has been around for a long time. They've been reliable. They've never caused any trouble in the past. I don't think they would now, but it is an unsigned driver, the software as well. But it does work right out of the box. If you just plug this up, it has the wireless dongle built in. They do include a charge cable. The battery on this has been great. I haven't managed to kill it yet. Overall, very impressed. Big upgrade. If you're a fan of the original, definitely it's worth it to me to move up to the big one. If you're going to pick a new controller, I would definitely go straight for this one as well. This one's fine. I love this controller. It's still a great controller, but this one just feels leagues better. This feels like it should be a $100 controller, but it's like, I think it's $59.99 right now. It's really not a bad deal. If you have any questions about either one of these, let me know. I just wanted to get this out there because I don't think a lot of people have seen it, and the few people that have, I don't believe they've had both of them, especially not with a lot of experience. I've only used this one for a few hours, but really digging it. All right, appreciate watching, guys. Have a good one.